Welcome to Critical Hit, a Major Spoilers podcast. Thank you so much for downloading and checking us out this week. Phew, we got out of the Thunderdome there, Kevin, and we got to go do something or something. What's going on this show?
On Critical Hit.
It was pretty close, but you did manage to escape the dodecahedron after rap battling and actual battling a team of snake people, but that was all in the holographic amusement chamber because you guys have been trapped there by a glitch gremlin.
Ooh.
And as part of an elaborate sabotage prank pulled on you by Talos. So where we ended things last time
on Critical Hit.
Critical Hit. I already did it.
Was that you had escaped one alternate reality, the dodecahedron, that Glitch had set up for you. You'd actually escaped two, because previously you were among xenomorphs trapped on the ship. But it seems that Glitch is taking you further and further into the realm of fiction. Whatever archives you have stored on the Squeaky Clean in the hack for all of your holographic entertainment. So let that terrify you for a moment as you course through there's a sudden bright light as you go through the exit from the arena that is the outside the dodecahedron after chasing Glitch, and suddenly all of you emerge. You feel surrounded, almost paralyzed, and then you realize you're swimming. And all of you have the appropriate underwater equipment to survive, like scuba diving, basically, except for Amu, who I believe can breathe underwater naturally. Yeah. And Amu, so one thing that is a little bit easier for you guys, now that you've been through this process a couple of times, you're beginning to pick up on some of the tells that reveal it to be holographic, and you're able to keep it kind of in your mind that this isn't real. Though, of course, if you die in the holographic amusement chamber, you die in real life, naturally.
The Freddy Krueger paradox is a thing.
Yeah. Well, all the safeties got turned off by Glitch, so. But anyway, except for the fact that you do know, because I think Hagubino found out, that there's always a way out of any given simulation. That's one of the rules that Glitch wasn't able to violate. In any case, Amu, you recognize this as a narrator starts providing some comforting, descriptive text for what you're experiencing as a bunch of very, very large fish swim by.
Oh.
It's mating season. Fast and strong, bladefish swim across the oceans in instinctive circuits that cover thousands of kilometers. These circuits take them through their entire life cycle, including live birth, adolescence, hunting, and of course, mating. Though beautiful to behold, bladefish are deadly carnivores and deliver brutal blows very rapidly as they charge in, swim past, and charge in again.
Sir Richard Attenborough.
I assume most of the rest of the group is kind of drifting.
Yeah, sure.
That's how
it's what they do. We will start grabbing whoever is looking the most in trouble in this situation. Probably Quentin, I would imagine, is having like, I can't imagine a ball being all that great at swimming.
He does have some sort of propulsion system, so
True.
But it is not designed to function underwater. He is able to propel himself, but he does not have a swim speed.
No. But he does have goggles and a little scuba thing. What do they call that? A snorkel? Yeah. Because the hack is trying to make sure that everything is fine.
Yeah, you all have respirators and supplies of oxygen or various gases to help keep you alive, depending on what kind of things you need for breathing. But yes, so Amu seems... Normally, Amu's on the, I think, slower and less graceful side of things. But here, he moves about quite fluidly.
Literally.
Can we talk with the respirator situation?
So you can try to talk, and it does seem that you have some sort of muffled communicator. So it's like talking with something in your mouth.
Can anyone see the way out of this documentary?
No, but you may need to be ready to deal with the bladefish.
Bladefish.
Well, you heard the man, right?
And you see some of these aforementioned bladefish come in. They have very long snouts, noses, and I guess it's technically part of their skull, that end in like a sharp blade, kind of like a swordfish, but they're bright. Their head is bright yellow, and the rest of their body is green and blue. And there seems to be a school of them swimming nearby. A given bladefish is over 2 meters long and 300 kilograms at a guess. So quite large.
I'll look around. If I wanted a front seat to this, assuming that I was a sadistic little weirdo, where would I be?
Why don't you give me a perception check?
11.
So you glance around. It's a little hard because you have to look in 3 dimensions.
I'm sorry,
you look up.
I got a 20. I was looking at Matthew's roll.
Oh,
sorry.
Okay. Jeez, Matthew.
That's okay. It's not your fault.
Rodrigo like that. No. So a 20. All right. Then you're able to orient yourself pretty quickly and figure out that below you, down where things look kind of darker and more ominous, there are lots of good hiding spaces, so long as you don't mind, going places where there could be giant eels.
Well, best hiding spot is probably down there. So let's see if we can find Glitch.
I'll cover you guys if you want to go looking for him. And she'll kind of like start swimming over, trying to position herself between the bladefish and everyone else.
And
good to me.
With that, you guys are immediately under assault from a swarm of bladefish as they buzz past you, and some of them seem to be ignoring you, while others consider you food. And we have actually already rolled initiative, so I'm just using the initiative from previously. Sorry, Rob. And that means that the bladefish get to act first.
Does
Greatest
Rob
weapon
get an underwater
bladefish
initiative
have.
bonus?
I'm sorry?
Does Rob get an underwater initiative bonus?
He does not.
Okay.
He does not.
He just gets a swim speed.
Yes, he
That'd
does
be a
have a
good
swim
racial
speed,
trait.
and
He's sorry because
excellent.
of how crap my roll was.
yes, that's
Under
why I'm
50,
sorry.
over 50% humidity, you get a You get a +2 to your initiative.
The greatest weapon bladefish have is their numbers. Vast storms of them swim their lifelong circuits from the water's surface down to 100 meters deep. When one senses an intruder, it determines whether the threat is manageable or overwhelming, and reacts by charging or fleeing, respectively. This community has decided to charge. And with that, everyone is going to be attacked by a bladefish. So let's go in initiative order. Vangi, what's your kinetic armor class?
It is. So do I still have the buff that was put up by Amu last combat?
How long does that last, Amu?
It should last with my new smarts at 18. 4 rounds.
Then yeah, we'll say it has 2 rounds left.
Oh, sweet. Then it is currently KACUS
Yes.
26.
You are still hit for 11 slashing damage. Skritic?
19.
Hit for 13. Hecubino, you, my friend, are critically hit
Good.
for 26.
I would like
Slashing
to
damage.
spend a resolve point
Would that drop you? What are you spending a resolve point for?
to share pain.
Oh, okay.
Whenever a foe deals damage to you, you can spend 1 resolve point as a reaction to shift some of the pain back onto that foe. Unless the foe succeeds at a will save, reduce the damage you take from the attack by your mystic level to a maximum of the attack's damage, and the foe takes an equal amount of that damage. There's a mind-affecting pain effect. So
Okay,
let's see if we can shape 5 off of that.
What's your safety C?
DC is equal to 10 plus half my mystic level plus my wisdom modifier. I'm guessing that's rounded down, right? So
Yes.
12 plus my wisdom modifier is 4. So 16.
16, it fails. So it takes 5 damage.
It takes 5 damage, and I take whatever you said minus 5. So what was that?
It was 26, so minus 5 is 21.
Okay.
All right. Then Quentin, your KAC?
19.
You are hit for 10 slashing. Bob?
15.
You are hit for 12 slashing. And Amu?
14.
You are hit for 9. As the swarm swims around you, it basically makes a pass, but it's looking like it's going to turn around and come at you again for another charge. They are able to kind of seamlessly move past you when they strike. They basically have spring attack when underwater. So swim by attack, I guess you could call it. So after the bladefish make their first pass, Skritic, you are up. What do you do? There are a lot of them. Not so many that you couldn't kill them all, but there's a lot.
There are quite a lot. I'm thinking I'm just going to try to get away and get to those tunnels that were pointed out earlier.
The eel-infested tunnels?
Yeah.
All right. So you're just going to swim for it?
Yep.
Cool. Why don't you give me an athletics check?
I roll 14.
14. All right. So Skritic is struggling. He is making some progress, but not great progress as he gets caught up in the currents and gets battered around by some of the bladefish who just like incidentally tail slap him. But he is swimming down there. Is there any? So that was like your primary action. Is there anything else you want to do, Skritic?
Hold on.
He is still the closest to you getting there because he's tried.
I guess I need a moment of rest in order to get stamina points back with resolve. Man, I don't know. I just keep moving.
All right, sounds good. Vangi.
Keep on swimming.
I'm actually she'll pull out one of her RTEs and be like, "Can I interest you guys in an easier meal?" and like toss it at them.
What is in your RTE?
I assume that it's mostly meat. So probably like,
jerky.
I don't know, jerky. Like various forms of jerky.
I like it. So
Freeze-dried meat.
Just roll a d20 for me.
Sure. I've got a 12.
Okay. You definitely seem to catch some of their interest, and they like start poking at it. They're beginning to curl back around to do another pass. You might be able to distract some of them from, say, attacking you, or maybe if you swim away from the meat, you might be able to. And somebody else was right behind it. They might be able to be distracted and basically not get attacked.
Cool. Can I then also start swimming?
Yeah, as your move, you can start swimming. You're not going to catch up with Skritic because he did that as both his standard and move, but you can start swimming.
Cool.
Why don't you give me an athletics check as well?
I have a 22.
Yeah, so actually you're basically able to catch up with Skritic regardless, just because you're a little bit more powerful underwater. Hecubino.
I will swim down, and also, I'll try to swim down and activate detect thoughts.
Okay, cool. So first, give me an athletics check.
Okay, here we go. 18.
Yeah, that's good enough to make some good progress.
For those of you who are curious, I rolled a 19 on the die.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yikes.
Nice mod.
What? You're doing well. You're doing great. You're almost there. You're almost to the eel-infested tunnels. And when you reach out with your mind to sense what is around you, you determine that there are actually a couple of things. You detect really only one intelligence, and then you detect basically a projection of an intelligence, if that makes any sense.
Sure.
The projection is not very smart at all. The projection's surface thoughts are about waiting for you to come within reach and then eating you. And it seems to be thinking to itself the equivalent, it doesn't have language, but the equivalent of yes, closer to my maws. So that's the fake intelligence.
Right.
The real intelligence, you can definitely sense that it is there. Let me see if do they get a saving throw in general?
Will negates. Yeah.
Will negates. Okay. So, oof. And what happens if they fail?
Let me see, because I think it depends on what round we're in. Yeah, so on the third round, I could start reading their thoughts.
Okay.
Well,
we're going to go ahead.
That's what the will save prevents me from doing. But at the first round, I can basically detect that something is there. Second round, I can get. I can tell what their int modifier is.
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah. It also doesn't immediately tell me where they are, but I guess if they're in the cone,
sure,
then I can.
So round one, you detect that they're both there, and because one of the minds is quite simple / artificial, you can pick up the thoughts of that one.
Okay.
The other one, so round two, I'm going to give you a little bit more information, about their location and maybe a little bit about what they think of as their mental presence. And then round three, I'll give you more surface thoughts. This thing's surface thoughts aren't going to change much, just letting you know.
So, if I could, can I say something?
Absolutely.
So, picking up that there is something smart down there, Hecubino will be like, Glitch, I already nailed you twice with this, and I got another one in the chamber.
All right. So with that, it'll go to Quentin.
Let's see. Electricity and water is probably a bad idea.
Or a great idea.
Oh, you know what?
I'm with Kevin.
I mean, that's what I that's what I was going to do.
Up the narration and see if you can confuse the fish.
Ooh.
Change their behavior because that's what the narrator says.
Hey, we don't know how this is programmed.
That's true.
It depends on which way the workflow is, right?
First, the narrator says something, then they do it.
Yep. Exactly. Yep. Ooh, that's smart. Okay.
Or you could flash some shiny lights and try to get them to mate with you.
Okay, first of all, ooh, and second of all, why? No, I think the first thing I want to do. Shut up. Okay, you ever drop a nickel in the pool?
No.
Okay, so when you drop a nickel in the pool,
Babe Ruth once.
It basically disappears because it's shiny in the shiny water. So Quentin is going to do two things. First, I'm going to try and do something to stealthify my outer shell to make it so reflective that it looks like more water so that I can't be seen.
You're basically bending the light around yourself.
I'm doing something cool like that.
There are several fish
Pseudoscience
that do something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I'm thinking that might be a stealth check.
Tell you what. Do you have any life science?
No, not even a little bit. Wait, let me check.
All right.
Yeah, no. Yeah. It sounds stealthy to me.
No life science, no physical science?
I have some physical science. I'm not trained in it. There is something in my physical science.
I think that I
have 2 ranks.
Those are trained science. Only. Oh, so you are trained in it. If you've got ranks, you're trained.
I got a 3 in physical science.
Why don't you give me a physical science check to think about?
Why do you hate me? What did I ever do to you?
You're trying to make an exceptional stealth check, and I'm totally on board for that. But I want to see, if you know what you're doing.
I've always known what I'm doing. I rolled a 5.
Okay, so you can give me a stealth check, but you do take a -5 penalty.
That's just cruel. All right, fine. You know what? I'm going to do it. And you know why I'm going to do it?
You're stealth with no cover in the middle of the ocean?
Boom. How about a 27?
Well,
it's 22.
I think it's a 22 because the -5.
I put -5, didn't I?
No, you said
you put
equals 5.
Let me try that with a -5.
Wow.
How about a 26?
Remarkable. Anyway, strangely enough, through more narrative art than science, Quentin is able to pull that off.
Okay.
Like you adopt a shimmering sphere. You do have to kind of angle it. You realize you can't be kind of invisible in all directions at once because you're but you can angle it towards the bladefish swarm right now if you wish.
Yes.
Yeah. You want to swim up, right? That's why fish are light on the bottom and dark on top, so you can't see them. So if
I thought that was just the way they were cooked.
Yeah, if something ever saw you from below, it would not see you, but above, it would totally see you.
Okay. So, do I still have something in the move department that I could move?
Yeah, you can try to move.
All right. So, Quentin is going to basically open up any watertight, useless compartments. And even though he can't swim very well, theoretically, as water fills up those compartments, he'll just sink.
Won't you achieve neutral buoyancy?
No.
Anyway.
I'm made of quadra-titanium. I'm going to sink. It's going to be great.
All right. Why don't you give me an engineering check to try to control your buoyancy?
Oh, man, you're hurting me here. Engineering. I don't
Would you
have it.
prefer athletics?
Sure, engineering. Yeah, athletics is better than engineering.
Really?
Yeah, my engineering is nothing. Wait, I have something. I got a star in it, but it's got a little dagger.
Oh my goodness. I'm pretty sure your engineering is not nothing.
Is your engineering just like a sticker with like some grapes that are smiling that says grape job?
All right, when I look at my engineering, 0 ranks.
Gold star. Gold star. No,
Class
no more
bonus
questions.
3. Ability mod 1. So, but in the total column, there's a neg. There's nothing.
Oh boy.
Because I don't have any ranks in engineering. So technically, I have these 4 things that I can't do anything with.
Oh, I see.
Engineering is
You're not
trained only. That's the issue.
Well then, there you go. I guess it'll be an athletics check to just try to propel yourself.
I'm going to be athletic as only a sphere can. All right. Are you prepared for the athleticness of the sphere? A 9.
I guess I am prepared for that. You bob along relatively harmlessly.
No, he's Bob. I Quentin along. God. What? You got 6 players and you already can't tell.
Bob, you're up.
I'm going to remove the battery pack out of my laser pistol, and I'm going to use some engineering to have it send off some electrical pulses through the water to try and keep these bladefish away.
Ooh, so are you trying to maybe intimidate them by, some pretending to be some sort of electric animal?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, cool. Make your engineering check.
19.
Totally good. So you can choose to try to augment that with either life science or intimidate, or you can just choose to let that engineering check stand and say, I've done my thing.
So how does that work? So if I roll life science, then that adds to this?
You're basically using your knowledge, nature, like your knowledge of bladefish / aquatic life to be like, I'll be this type of animal.
I watched these holo vids at some point during our journey already. So yeah, I'm going to use the life science.
Cool.
And I get a 19.
Excellent. So you actually do a quite compelling job. There's a strange animal that's basically like the Rat King?
Yes.
Okay. It's that, but made out of electric eels.
Nice.
Terrible.
Why would you draw that?
Why would you do this?
Why?
Yeah. It's actually a monster in D&D 3.5. I don't remember its name, though. But it is
It's
sweet.
a tumble eel.
Yep.
Nightmare fuel?
And that's what Bob is pretending to be pretty successfully, in your opinion, Amu. And so far, I have Quentin being avoided. I have Bob being avoided. Vangie was protecting either herself or someone else, was a little unclear. Skritic was moving down. Hecubino moving down. I mean, several people are moving down, but Skritic is probably, I guess, tied with Vangie for the furthest. Hecubino's pretty close to them. And that brings up Amu.
Yeah, I'll protect Hecubino if possible, considering he just got crit.
Okay. You'll move your rations in front of Hecubino.
Yep.
So Hecubino seems to be the one who's the worst off right now?
In terms of...
Points-wise, I'm below half.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I mean, I'm out of stamina points.
Ooh, yeah.
So-
Is anyone out of stamina? Let's do it that way.
Not entirely, but very close.
I've taken hit point damage, so.
Okay, so Skritic is probably the worst off.
Okay. The 2 androids are being avoided right now, though, right?
That's correct.
said- Okay.
We are droided, yeah.
You're very adroit at this.
Uh-huh. And that's where we get the turn.
Boo.
No, it's not.
We will go and try and help Skritic move along.
Yeah,
Since he seems to be
need
the
the
worst off right now, as well as having troubles with the whole swimming thing.
And how are you helping him?
We're gonna swim with him, try and help pull him along, push him along, however is easiest to deal with a drowning rat.
Do you still have that thing that you can use to like hook him, like you've been hooking enemies?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just use your catch pole.
Just snag his tail and go.
It actually might be easier for you to do that because then you could use your swim speed. It wouldn't be particularly dignified for him, though.
Yeah,
That's his problem.
it'd probably be like
Amu
a
doesn't
moment
understand dignity.
of panicked thrashing before I realize it's Amu, and then just resignation.
Yes. We will snag a rat in a net and go.
All right.
Can I ask something? I'm sorry to keep interrupting. What does Amu look like when he's swimming?
Amu's far less humanoid right now, and looks more like just the chunk of coral floating there and weirdly propelling itself around wherever it needs to go.
Like a cuttlefish or a jellyfish, maybe.
Like, he's a swarm of coral, right? Except he's got lots of little. I want to call them pedipalps, but that's something a spider has. I don't know. He's got lots of little fins that he can move that move him through the water.
Pinnipeds.
Yeah.
Polyps?
No, not pinnipeds. That's
Polyps.
a seal.
A pinniped
So, yes,
is like
polyps-
a walrus or a
polyps-
seal.
what you're thinking of
Polyps
are
is the word
cilia,
I was thinking
which
of.
polyps have.
Oh, what does in terms of also going along that same lines of what does Amu look like? Does his coloration change? does he
It
look?
takes on a more aquatic sheen. There's not any big coloration changes, although the colors are much more of a mishmash in the water since the shape is not anything recognizable.
So you guys swim deeper, and the bladefish come for a pass. But Vangi, you are able to protect Hecubino with your rations. Quentin, they ignore you due to the sheen you're throwing in the direction.
Yeah.
Bob, they stay way clear of you. Actually, Bob, I'll let you protect one other person as well. So you can choose Vangi, Skritic, or Amu, because your check was quite successful.
I think I will also protect Skritic.
Cool. So then Vangi and Amu, despite how deep you've gotten, you're not out of their reach yet. So Vangi and Amu, the bladefish come for another pass. Vangi, they miss you for sure.
Sweet.
Amu, what's your
Not
Casey?
great.
then I remember it well enough to know that you're hit. Take 13 from a blade. You realize that these things will definitely just eat you if you're out left in the open. Like, tasty coral.
Yeah, we figured.
Yeah.
I am chunked into my hit points now.
And you are able to proceed deeper. So does everyone keep swimming?
Sinking.
Yep.
Sinking,
As well as I
swimming,
can.
avoiding them?
Sink or swim, yeah.
Cool. So as you do so, and you approach these little tunnels that are eel tunnels, it gets darker and colder. And, of course, that makes some degree of sense. But Amu, it gets weirdly cold and dark too quickly. You do see some little bright spots of light, though, that, maybe that's like where the tunnels end or like the passage ends and you can resurface. Or maybe that's the light that lets you exit the simulation.
Or maybe.
So, Skritic, What do you do?
How close we are to the tunnels?
You're basically at them now.
I'll lunge in knife first.
Cool. There are maybe
Try
a
to-
dozen tunnels, and let's say half of them have glowing white light coming out of them. Do you go into a tunnel that's dark or faintly light?
Let's head towards the light.
Sounds good.
That works so
Alright.
well for Carol Ann.
Why don't you give me a survival check to navigate underwater in this tunnel environment? You've crawled through tunnels before, so you happen to be underwater here. What's the big deal?
Well, let's see. 31.
31. Nice. You're able to proceed, and through you quickly assess things once you get to the edge of a tunnel, and you stop and kind of crouch down. So give me a perception check.
Okay. I had a good corner to hunker down in 25 for perception.
Yep, excellent. You're doing a bang up job. So you're able to navigate the tunnels, no problem, and you're able to both kind of sneak into a good position and look out. And when you look out, that's when the narrator starts.
Oh, God.
Lasiodons have a whale-like body, complete with a powerful tail, thick fins, and each of its 6 heads bears a nightmarish maw with a curved, fleshy growth that glows in the dark water with white light.
Okay.
Imagine a hydra attached to a plesiosaur, that sort of creepy giant dinosaur fish monster body. So it's got 6 heads, and then each of the 6 heads is an anglerfish.
Wow.
Except-
Fantastic.
Yeah, Sam, it's time for counseling. Tell him.
Kevin is actually really afraid of plesiosaurs, so I'm impressed with this whole situation.
Well, I'm terrified
I'm
of
usually the
anglerfish,
one
so-
that's like, "Ooh, there's a sea monster exhibit at this museum. Let's go. You need to look at this." And he's like, "Why do you hate me?"
Quote-ish, paraphrase, quote from Batman Begins, "They should fear what I fear."
That's why there are so many bureaucracies in my games.
That's true.
Mhm.
Everyone has their own themes.
How do you feel about Leopleurodons?
Oh, I love them.
What about magical Leopleurodons?
Anyway.
Cool. So you're able to communicate something back to the group if you wish. And actually with your 25 perception check, you can tell that there is a tiny little glowing creature with an elaborate digital breathing mech suit that is floating just beyond the Lasiodon.
Glitch is past the monster. Avoid the lights.
Thank you.
Be like, well, how about I tango with the monster and you guys swim past? And so she's gonna swim up towards Skritic.
You're going to swim through the tunnels and go just right past Skritic to try to close with this thing?
Yep.
Give me an athletics check.
Sure thing. 25.
All right. So do you have a weapon drawn as you're swimming past?
Yeah, I'll have my tactical pike out, but kind of like using it like a spearfisher person would.
Nice. Well, so you're swimming up right next to it. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Then it will take an attack of opportunity.
Oh, I have a reach, so I'll swim to a little
And
bit of
what's your
away.
reach? 10 feet?
Yeah.
Okay. This thing is 60 feet long.
Okay, yeah, all right, noted.
So it has reach of 25.
Jeez.
Yep.
Okay.
So it hits you.
Yeah.
Take 31.
Oh no. All right, well, there goes all my stamina points. And some of my hit points.
It's got quite a bite. Oh, and yikes! Let's not forget about this. Oh boy, we wouldn't want to ignore the monster ability that triggers on a bite attack.
No, we would not. No,
Sure
we would obviously not.
I think we would.
What's your KIC again?
26 currently.
All right. Well, then you're grappled as part of the attack, and it looks like it will try to swallow you whole whenever it can.
We'll say, I made a tactical error.
Stab it in the gullet.
All right. Hecubino.
Did that all happen on Vangi's turn?
Yep.
Does she get an attack?
Yeah, actually she does. That's a good point.
Oh, hey, sweet.
I mean,
can I
it closed to her.
Yeah, so can I still make a attack with my cryopike from this situation?
Absolutely. Well, so you're grappled.
Mhm.
But let's go ahead and say yeah. Go for it.
Okay. I mean, if I need to use a different weapon, I can do that.
No, I think you do take a penalty. So let's take a look at the grappled condition. So, nah, you can't take two-handed actions.
Okay. What would I need to do to break free of this grapple?
You can make a I think there's an acrobatics check that'll do it. You can yeah, I would allow an acrobatics or athletics check to break free.
You know what? I'm just gonna hit it. So she's gonna use her tail and grab a little hammer that's
Hey, Vangi. Just
would
so
that be-
you know, the
This
thing
thing is really, really big?
60 feet long and weighs over 50 tons. So
all right,
you get
it was a huge mistake to fly into his jaws, and I should get away now, is what you're telling me. All right, noted. I just wanted to fight the giant monster because I do not fear sea monsters, and I wanted to prove it. Anyways, I'm going to make a athletics check to try to break out of this grapple. Thanks.
It was a bit of a forced perspective thing. Didn't realize how big it was.
Yeah, you've successfully distracted it.
Fair enough.
Your allies will be, unless it has some sort of combat reflexes, they're good to.
There we go. Now everyone should be able to get free. All right, I'll take it. So I will still try to break out of its grapple, though, to not die. I've got a 25.
You're still grappled.
Oh my. That's not good. Okay. Exciting.
Hecubino.
I would like, now that I've been given information, I would like to visually, actively search for Glitch.
Sure. So you have to swim a little bit into the tunnels to search for him.
Okay.
After you do that, yep, there he is. And sure enough, you can spot he's standing right by a giant clam with a pearl, except you don't think the pearl is real. The pearl looks like a multi-dimensional phase transducer, which is to say, a way out of here.
Right. Well, first of all, mind thrust.
Yikes! How much damage am I taking?
So that'll be a. Let me look at the.
Kind of forgot you could do that. Glitch is in rough shape.
So that's a 17 DC, and I will roll 4 d10s. So 21 coming in.
Wow. Okay. And with that, Glitch immediately fritzes out and has to tap the pearl, and you are all instantly transported from this world. You're so close to being able to escape, but Hecubino short circuits it, and the bladefish, the Lasiodon, everything shimmers and disappears.
Holy cow.
Wow.
Hey, everybody, we're going to stop right there and see what world we're going to jump into next, or if we're out of this thing. Who knows? Well, you would know if you are a patron, because if you're not a patron and you become a patron, you'll get to hear next week's episode before everyone else. So find out more, patreon.com/majorspoilers. And for everyone, patron or not, here's hoping all of your dice rolls are critical hits.
This podcast is copyright 2021 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.